was faded linen. A few times a day, she would gently open the old woman's stiff gray lips to feed her with thin soup or porridge, turn her frail body, and apply lotion to her waxy skin. One day, the caregiver entered the room and immediately sensed something was wrong. The old woman's eyes were completely white, her mouth hung open, her jaw twisted. She called the ambulance. The doctors confirmed her death. The body would be picked up in the morning. The caregiver didn't want to spend the night with a corpse, but the relatives couldn't come until the next day. It was too late to return home. She had to stay. She opened the window in the old woman's room. Oddly, she felt the need to cover her with a light blanket. Despite her unease, she quickly fell into a restless sleep. She dreamed of gray streets and faceless shadows. Then, through the haze of sleep, she thought she heard slow, dragging footsteps in the hallway. Startled, she sat up and threw on her robe. In the dim hallway, she saw the old woman standing, barely. Her legs shook. She leaned heavily on the wall. Oddly, fear didn't come first. The caregiver's first thought was, could the doctors have been wrong? She had left the window open. It was cold. She rushed over and supported her. Careful, why didn't you call me? The old woman's eyes were closed. Her voice, hoarse and barely audible, rasped, "Help me, my hands." The caregiver froze. She hadn't heard the woman speak before. "I'll help you lie down. Do you want tea?" "No, my hands. Straighten them." Only then did she notice the old woman's hands were folded on her chest, like a corpse. The caregiver touched them and yanked her hands back. The skin was ice cold, rigid. She squinted in the dim light. Purple spots marred the old woman's face. The caregiver fled to her room, slammed the door, and braced it with the desk. Behind the door came the voice again. "Why did you leave? Help me. My hands. I can't move them. Open the door." She heard the dragging shuffle, back and forth. Each time the voice passed her door, she caught pieces of whispered rambling, but one word was always clear: hands. She didn't know how much time passed. At some point, everything went silent. When the sun began to rise, she cracked the door and looked out. The hallway was empty. She crept back into the old woman's room. The body lay still on the bed, hands folded, skin gray, eyes closed. Only the blanket was out of place, torn on the floor. Something unexplainable is happening in my house, and it all started after my sister moved to another city. As far back as I can remember, we always shared that bedroom, but then she got into college and left. I was actually excited. Finally, the room was all mine. But that's when the strange things started happening, and they kept getting worse. It began one night with a deep, rhythmic knocking, followed by a faint ringing sound. I searched the room, trying to trace the noise, and realized it was coming from the far corner, where our old wooden wardrobe stood. It used to belong to our grandmother. The sound returned, night after night. I tore through the inside of the wardrobe, but there was nothing that could have made that noise. I started to freak out and eventually begged my dad to help me move the thing. As we shifted it, the top broke apart and one of the doors fell off. That's when we found them. 2 porcelain balls, small and smooth. The kind people used to roll around in their hands for relaxation. I had never seen them before. I have no idea how they got there or who they belonged to. My dad threw the wardrobe out and said he'd buy me a smaller one later. For the time being, I had to pile most of my stuff on my sister's bed, and the corner where the wardrobe had stood was now empty. But if you think it ended there, you're wrong. A few quiet nights passed. Then, one night, I was woken up by a soft but irritating noise, like crumbs falling onto the wooden floor, piece by piece. The sound was so subtle, but it crawled under my skin. I got up and turned on the light. On my desk was a box of paper clips, flipped over. The clips were scattered, and a few of them were arranged neatly on the floor beneath, like someone had dropped them slowly, one by one, in the exact same spot. I put them back in the box, went back to bed, only to be woken again by the exact same sound, same scene. It didn't scare me. It made me angry. I swiped the clips off the desk and said out loud, "If you want to drop them, go ahead." The next morning I woke up to chills down my spine. All the clips were neatly piled in the exact same corner where the wardrobe used to be. A couple of weeks later, that corner started producing noises at night, soft groaning and occasional coughing, as if someone was trying to get my attention. It went on and on until I turned on my light. The moment the light came on, silence, turn it off, and after a few minutes it would start again, a deep breath, then more noises. One night I even managed to record the sounds on my phone. Now I sleep with the lights on every night. I don't know what this is, but I'm starting to believe something or someone is still here, and I'm terrified of what might happen next. Every morning for me is the same routine. I get up, wash my face, have a quick breakfast, then go out for some fresh air and a walk through the shops. Nothing unusual. I met up with a friend as usual, and we chatted about random things, music, movies, news. suddenly he stopped and asked something strange. "Hey, do you know that girl?" "What girl?" I asked, confused. He nodded behind us. "The one who's been staring at you for a while now." I turned around. About 10 meters away stood a figure, a girl about 12 years old, her back to us, dark dress, straight hair. At first glance, nothing scary, but something about her just didn't feel right. "She's not even looking at us," I mumbled, though I felt uneasy myself. But he said that when I met him, she had already started following us. We kept walking, trying not to look back. Our conversation died out. We both were silent, but it was clear we were thinking about the same thing, about her. In the store, while I was picking out a book, my friend grabbed my sleeve again. "She's here, just came in," and indeed, a shadow flickered between the shelves. We rushed to the exit, and without a word started running through the streets, the park, the bridge. Wherever we looked back, she was there, far but always behind us. "This is impossible," my friend breathed out. "She couldn't catch up with us. We ran too fast. It's impossible for a girl like that." At the place where we met in the morning, we parted ways. He asked, "What will you do?" "Go home. Just forget about it. Maybe it was all in my head." But my mind was restless. Walking home was torture. On every street, at every corner, I felt her gaze. Sometimes I glanced back, and there she was, the same girl, walking with her head down, as if too scared to look at me. No sound, no movement, as if she wasn't there. But she was. I could feel it. Reaching my building, I ran inside. The elevator was a refuge. While it was rising, I listened carefully. Someone was walking up the stairs fast, too fast. At my floor, I jumped out, slammed the door, and locked all the locks. My heart felt like it was about to burst, and it wasn't from running. I looked through the peephole. The elevator stopped, opened. No one got out, and then it closed. Days passed. She kept appearing, always near, at a distance. She didn't come closer, didn't speak, just existed. Then one night, just a week ago, everything changed. I woke up to a creak. I turned my head and realized I wasn't alone in the room. In the dark, standing opposite me, was her. The same girl, but now she was looking straight at me. No eyes. Empty, black sockets. Her dress was wet, like it was pulled from a swamp. Drops fell onto the floor. I couldn't move. No scream, no breath. She stepped closer and whispered, "It's your turn." In the morning, I woke up, but I no longer live in my apartment. I'm still here, but no one sees me. My parents talk about loss. Pictures are taken off the walls. No one hears me. And she no longer follows me.